You are welcome to the Lord TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
The news in details. UN warns Nigeria, saying our economy is sliding back to recession. According to the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Muda Yusuf, the Nigerian national debt profile has increased by 108% within the last couple of years. The Nigerian debt profile rose from 12.6 trillion in 2015 to 26.2 trillion in 2019. The rate of the growing national debt is a serious cause for concern, as the debt profile grew from 12.6 trillion in 2015 to 26.2 trillion in 2019, an increase of 108%. The Buhari government yet seeking for an additional 22.7 billion borrowing, which will bring the total debt stock to 108 billion US dollars. More than 15% of these debts are owed by the state governments. The nation's capacity to service the current stock of debt raises serious sustainability concerns, especially now that the oil price has fallen to $30 per barrel dollars. For instance, the debt service provision in the 2019 budget was a whopping 2 trillion naira, whereas the total capital budget was 2.9 trillion. This implies that the debt service commitment was 70% of capital budget allocation. The debt to revenue ratio was about 30%, which is also on the high side. In the 2020 budget, the total revenue could barely cover debt service, commitments, and recurrent spending, and yet the government is still thinking of more borrowing. The opportunity cost of high debt service commitment for the economy and citizens is very high. There is also the exchange rate risk inherent in the exposure to mounting foreign debts, which have become worrisome as the currency depreciates. The burden of servicing from debt would intensify grossly. This has been the major problem with increasing the stock of foreign debt. All of these underscore the imperative of appropriate policy choices to attract equity domestic and foreign private sector capital for infrastructure financing. The government needs to look beyond tax credits in its quest for complementary funding sources for infrastructure. We should be looking more in the direction of equity financing. But for this to happen, the policy and regulatory environment must be right. Government public policies must be in reality with the current situation. Else, we must slide back to recession faster than we expected. It is critical to review the spending structure of government and the cost of government, the ballooning recurrent expenditure in the face of declining revenue is a cause for the concern. There is a need to clarify the place of the new loan request in relation to the 2020 budget and the 2020 to 2022 medium-term expenditure framework. It is important to stress that borrowing should strictly be in line with the relevant provision of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, the LCC, stated. Thank you for listening to this news. Viewers, can see what we've been talking about. You can see what we've been talking about concerning the Nigerian economy and how it should be safeguarded. You can see this is a serious observation by the United Nations, and now a warning is being given to us. And it is now left to us. It is now left to those that are in government to take up this warning, especially the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, because this administration is the only administration that I see that has the highest borrow, that has borrowed money from international countries and organizations more than the other administrations. I don't know, and what they are doing with money, I still don't know. Normally it is stated and clear that when you borrow, you use the money for a purpose that will at the end yield more than what you have borrowed, so that you can be able to pay back comfortably. But in the case of Nigeria, it ends up in the other way around. Okay, look at the percentage, our debt, the level of the level of debts, the debt ratio, our debt ratio in each year. Look at the let me make reference to what was reviewed. What was reviewed by, is it Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Or I think yes, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu reviewed it. He tried reviewing the level of debt, our level of debt in Nigeria. Are you getting what I'm saying? He's tried to review it to us so that we in Nigeria we can know the level we are, in the Nigerian economy, and in debt issue, to know if we are free, if we are debt free, or if we are within, or we are not debt free. In 2015, in 2017 to 2018, Nigeria was at 33% in debt. You can see, if Nigeria can be of that level in debt, tell me. Okay, look at what UN has just presented to us. Look at the level we are in debt in Nigeria. And now they are advising us to be careful because we are going back to recession. Oh God. We need to be very, very good. I think the President Muhammadu Buhari administration needs to hold a seminar concerning this, because the level of our borrowing is becoming too much. It's becoming too much, and what we are using the money for are not visible. The only thing I know that is visible in Nigeria, in what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing, is the road construction that I'm seeing, and the agricultural sector. After this, both the two of these, okay, I will say ICT, ICT, yes, information communication, is also visible. It's also visible. But then the rest, I have nothing to see. I've not seen anything. President Moore just focus on corruption. At the end of the day, the other sector of the economy keeps suffering. It's even the other sector of the economy that is making us to experience this setback and taking us to recession. This is a warning to Nigeria. And Nigeria as a country is guided and governed by the president and his cabinet. So they should take care and work on this. So this is my advice. I don't know what is your own opinion. So please don't forget to leave it behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to get updated anytime we upload new videos. Thank you.